Hi, I'm Nick Bonner for TreeStuff.com. Today we're going to cover basic arborist knots. This is a 2.0 of a video that we did a long time ago, so we're going to cover some old favorites and show you some new stuff. So first knot that we're going to talk about is the Blake's hitch. And the first step to tying a Blake's hitch is to make sure that you have enough rope, right? And I usually will do that by stretching my arms out here, which my cameraman hates, but that's okay. And then we're gonna we have to tie our anchor, the anchor part of the Blake's hitch. So to do that, we're gonna start with a bowline. And you can see that what I did is I introduced a twist here with the part that's going up in the back, not like this, where it's in the front. See how it's closer to you? This is in the back. Now I'm gonna take the tail of the rope and I'm gonna come up or through the resulting twist that we've created, and I'm going to go around the standing part and then back down into the hole, and that is a bowline. So we'll talk a little bit more about the bowline and the running bowline later, but what I want to do here is I'll tighten this up so it's a little shorter, and we'll show you how to incorporate this into a Blake's hitch. So here we have the same knot with a longer tail and a shorter eye, and then I'm going to twist it around from the outside of the standing part of the loop here. And you see what that does is it doubles up here and retraces part of the knot, and then I'll come back out through here. This is called a Yosemite finish, and this is a great addition to any bowline that you want to be a little more secure. If you're using it as a life support tie-in, a base anchor, anything like that, I would recommend adding this Yosemite finish for whatever reason, right? So here it is. Here's the bowline. This is where your snap hook or your carabiner or the ring on your harness would go here. Now, we still have the moving side of the line. So to tie our Blake's hitch, what we're going to do is we're going to cross over the front of the moving part of the line and then take 4 wraps around the line. And you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This section, which is not long enough here, is the bridge. And you'll see that it's going to go around or go over the front of the bridge, behind the standing line, and then we're going to come up through just 2 of these coils. There's no safety knot here yet, so we'll add a safety knot as part of our TDS, or tied, dressed, and set. And I've added a figure 8 and rolled it in there nice and tight. Now, with the Blake's hitch, you'll be able to go up or down the rope. We have a whole video on introduction to climbing systems where we cover the Blake's hitch, its use as a climbing knot, and ways to improve and make it better, and then what your next steps are. So that will cover the Blake's hitch. And now let's move on to our next knot. The next knot that I want to show today is the Alpine Butterfly. So again, I have a rope slung over a branch. I might want to, let's say, run a canopy anchor up. I want to climb SRT or SRS on this side of the line. So I'm going to put a Alpine Butterfly here so that I can set a retrievable canopy anchor. And the way that I'll do that is by forming a bite in the rope. And then I will do 1 twist and 2 twists. And you can see that that creates an eye in the center here, right? So I'm going to capture that eye and this X with my fingers, and then take this loop around and then bring it back through the center. And when you've tied this correctly, it forms a symmetrical knot with a loop that you can load from either direction on the inside or in either direction on the outside. The Alpine Butterfly is a great midline knot, but using the Alpine Butterfly, you could set a canopy anchor. You'd run it all the way up the tree until it stopped. You look up and verify that it's choked where it needs to go, And you can climb on this side of the rope using an SRS or SRT setup, or a secret weapon and a DRT. And then when you're done with your climb, you can simply pull. You can pull the whole system right out of the tree. So there we covered the Alpine Butterfly and the Blake's Hitch, which are two really great climbing knots. I want to talk a little bit more about the Bowlin, or Bowline, whatever you want to call it. So around a tree here, see, I can tie a Bowlin very quickly and make a static knot, right? No matter how much you load this, the Bowlin is always going to be easy to take out. That's what's really nice about it. I like to teach people the method where you build the twist in the back and then come out. Some people call this the rabbit coming out of the hole. The rabbit runs around the tree and then dives back into the hole. I'm not super keen on that imagery, but that seems to help people learn it. There's another way to tie it. And what you're going to do is take the end and take the standing part, cross them, and twist the end around. And you see what I've done there is I formed the twist and put the tail through at the same time. I'll show you again. Ready? So cross it and then flip around and back through. This is how you tie the Bowlin the right way. This is the best way. This is how everyone should do it. So if you're going to do it, learn this way. It's so much quicker. And as you start to do running Bowlin and things like that, you're going to see a lot more benefit. What is the running Bowlin, you ask? So we showed how to tie the static knot like this. It's just a regular Bowlin, right? Good for anchoring, but not good if you wanted to rig this branch, right? You would want this to choke down. So to do that, you take your rope around whatever it is you want to choke down on, and then tie the Bowlin around the standing side of it. So I'll do this kind of big so that you can see here. And this is the Bowlin knot that I just showed you, but it's around this. And what that allows us to do is very easily choke the knot around the tree. You can pull down, you can pull up, you can pull in any direction except for this direction, and it's going to hold exactly fast. If you do take it the wrong direction, it will eventually just kind of settle in and anchor there. So that's a great option. This is the running Bowlin. This is one of your most used knots. I think you're going to find people are using the running Bowlin more than anything. So the last knot that I want to cover today is called the cow hitch. We have a video just on this knot actually, but I think the more people that learn this, the better. The cow hitch is great. It can be tied with essentially just a single strand of rope. Here I have a dead eye attached to a porta wrap just so we have an implement to show you. And this is going to be used to snugly attach a rigging tool to an anchor or a branch or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the rope around the tree, and I will always put it under first. And the reason is because now as I'm doing this, it's holding the porta wrap up, right? If I go over first, it's going to swing around and hit me in the knee. Well, that's no good, right? So always under first, and then the weight of the system or the weight of the tool is going to help you tie this knot a lot easier. So I'll snug it up really tight because during the process of tying it, it's going to get a little looser. And after I've gone under it, I'm going to reverse direction, keeping it nice and laid in, nice and clean. I'll pull it back around the tree, make sure my big feet are off of it. And then you notice that I'm holding tension with my left hand. That keeps it from slipping, right? You see as I loose the tension off, it slips a little. So by holding tension while I find the end, I make sure that the knot stays nice and clean. And then I take the end and I poke it through this loop that we created. And I have formed essentially a girth hitch by tying it with the end of the rope. Now it's holding the weight. However, we're always going to recommend, and anyone will, that we add 2 half hitches, which is essentially just the most basic form of a knot, right? You're just tying an old-fashioned knot, a regular knot as they call it, around there, and then that's good to go, right? This is not gonna go anywhere. It can be pulled up, it can be pulled down, it can be pulled this way, and it can be pulled this way. But like with any choking knot, if you pull it against the choke, it's gonna rotate until it lines up with the direction of pull. So recommend, if you need to pull it directionally, that you set the choke in the opposite direction, or pull straight in line with it. So there's so many knots. We have videos on just prussiks. There's a whole video on the 4 basic types of prussiks, how to apply those in climbing systems. We have videos on some of these knots that we've described today specifically, and we have videos on the climbing techniques associated with these knots, all the gear that you need, rope selection, everything. So please check out all those other videos. They're popping up all over, I'm sure. Pop, 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 pop. But yeah, there's a ton of content. We have 1,500 videos, and a lot of people are working really hard to bring these to you, and I hope that they're helpful for you and that you guys appreciate this. And if there's anything that you ever need from us, feel free to reach out to us, media@treestuff.com. Send us your ideas, compliments, or complaints. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.